All right, so in today's video, we're gonna be starting the process on trying to figure out what's the best option for building out your detail rig. Personally, my detail rig, right? But hopefully this translates and gives you guys a bunch of ideas for yours as well. Trucks, vans, trailers, sedans, all that kind of good stuff. And we have my buddy Josh from Flawless Finish Mobile Detail just about to arrive. He has an incredible Toyota Tundra that he completely built out. So let's just, he should be here any minute and we'll take a look at this thing. All right, guys, so we've got Josh here from Flawless Finish Mobile Detailing. So this is the truck I was talking about. We're gonna go ahead and walk through this thing. Real quick, Josh, just tell us a little bit about your business, really quickly, how long you've been doing it and all that kind of good stuff.
I've been in business for about 15 years, actually about 18 years now. Time goes fast.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, full-time detailing since 2008. I've been through various detail setups, vans, trucks, trailer.
Can I ask you really quick, because that's one of the biggest things that I always try and discuss with people too, is the van. Why did you leave the van setup? For me personally, I had a little Transit and I would constantly smell.
Was one of the main reasons for me as well.
Okay, yeah.
I am a car junkie, and the main reason why I left the van is because I hated driving a van.
Got it, okay, fair enough.
The turning radius, no power, and then the smell.
Yeah.
I've always used my detailing rig has always kind of doubled as a rig to drive my kids to school in the morning, and
yep.
The chemical smell, towels, iron removers.
Yeah, the iron remover especially.
Yeah, I mean, it's, stale pads that smell like wet dog, all of it. So a van I hated right from the get-go, and I tried a trailer, and I didn't like the security of that. The extra vehicle, the extra space it took, it was just not my forte.
Yeah, sometimes we're working in these areas, right, where you're very limited on space. You don't want to have a whole caravan to fit
so trailer never really was a good viable option for me.
Got it. Yep. Yeah, when I first started, it was trailer. I got rid of that pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Went into my truck and then got a van thinking
it was the cream of the crop.
Yeah, because the accessibility, all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But then I'm driving the thing around.
Looks professional.
Yeah, exactly. So truck setup is kind of where I think I lean as well. Yeah. That is what I work out of now. I have an old Tundra.
Yep.
But if you don't mind walking us through how you built this thing out, because it's really cool.
So for sure, thank you. I have been in a truck setup for 10 years, always a low profile setup. And the problem with that is, pulling out hoses, pulling everything out, putting it back in. I really love the way vans look, especially modern builds with everything right there. And when it came time for a new vehicle, I was thinking I wanted a van again. And then really it just kind of set in, like, I just don't want a van.
I don't want one,
I just like the setup, right?
Right.
And so for years I actually thought about this and just as time went by, I just kind of pieced it together in my mind, and one day I just decided to pull the trigger. It kind of all worked out on paper really well, so I started off with getting a cap. I always, like I said, was low profile, so getting a cap allowed a lot of securable space. I chose a deck system, which is super convenient. It gives you all your storage back, just all the wasted space that was in a truck, you get right back.
Totally.
Easy, obviously, super easy accessibility, pads, and it goes all the way deeper. There's all my polishers, pads, everything that you could possibly need really quick. Brushes, vacuums, accessories, everything's just right here.
Yeah, so I see you have all your vacuum accessories,
just
brushes,
air tools, drill brushes, air tools, miscellaneous tools, touch-up paints, sandpaper, other stuff, you're going to need.
Yeah,
doing paint corrections and coatings.
Yep, and a lot of what you do in your business is coatings now,
corrections and coatings, try to focus on that. I love polishing paint, and then course coatings go hand in hand with that. But yeah, having all this accessory and then putting the reels, before I didn't have reels, it was literally unrolling hoses every day, and that's obviously cumbersome and not very professional.
It
doesn't look, the best when you're, and then even pulling out a shop vac. I mean, it's not that they don't work, it's just, customers see a yellow or an orange shop vac and they're like, I've got the same thing in the garage, right?
And then even really this speeds up the process as
Absolutely.
well, right?
Yeah,
You're just
so much time
get after
saved.
it.
I save probably 45 minutes to an hour on an average job.
Yeah.
Having, like I said, everything right here. So really what's tied this whole system together, when you come around here, is the water tank.
Okay, so that's mounted here. Okay,
This is actually the whole bed of the truck. So what you don't see behind here, this is the water tank.
So
what you're
hopefully
seeing
people
here,
can see this.
yeah.
Hopefully it's adjusting quickly enough.
So this will put it into perspective. It's an L transfer tank.
Transfer tank.
So
okay.
it's an aluminum, diamond plate aluminum transfer tank that is initially designed for transferring diesel to, truck equipment, farm equipment, whatever on the side of the road. So this you would usually find in the bed of a truck up against the back.
Okay.
And with a gas pump on it. They pump diesel out of it.
Got it. Okay.
So with that tank, what I was able to do, it's 40 inches wide, and I was able to build a custom rack. This is the only thing that I've built.
Okay.
This custom rack.
The frame around. Okay.
That frames around that L void. So all of that, so that's sitting on, believe it or not, that's sitting on 95 gallons.
That's 95-gallon tank.
Yeah, this is a 95-gallon tank, all within 30. So within 36 inches, I was able to get the 95-gallon tank, all of my reels, plus another electric reel. I'll show you that in a second.
Yeah.
But everything, in this small space, which coming from a truck, another truck, there's more stuff right here than I had in my whole low-profile setup. And it's all Cox reels, industrial equipment. I've always been anti-generator, gas. I don't like it. I run a AR pump, a 630.
You're on a 630?
Yeah,
okay.
630.
Yep, the previous generator, because they just came out with a new one.
No, it's a total stop. It's a total stop.
Black.
No, it's not the black
It's the blue one. Okay.
Yeah, it's the blue one.
Perfect. That's what I run.
Yeah, the TSS, yeah. It spikes really high with power. As you know, it pulls a lot. It's a power junkie. I ended up choosing the EcoFlow, was it the Pro Max, I think is what it's called. It's their biggest, I think it's their biggest one they offer. That powers everything. It also, a lot of times, being at one job a day, mostly doing a correction or a coating, I guess I often just hooked up. I just use the customer's power.
So the EcoFlow is there for backup if you need it.
Yeah, and I find myself using it a lot now just because it's super convenient. I show up, everything's on. It's really quick to fire everything up. I don't have to run an extension cord.
Right.
The way I charge this system and also to plug it in, just a Cox reel with a 20 amp cord, and I reverse the ends. And so this will either run the system or charge it, or both at the same time, depending on how much power is going.
So just to be clear, now say the EcoFlow is drained.
Yeah, dead.
You can plug this in and
it charges
right
and it runs.
Gotcha. I didn't know there was like a pass-through like that.
So yeah, the way I set it up, I just set it up on a power block. I don't know if you'll be able to see it.
I'll do just get the
yeah.
It like doesn't transfer over, so I'll do some B-roll after so that everyone can see exactly where it's at.
So yeah, I just ran a power block and just ran the wiring. So this plugs right directly into the EcoFlow.
Okay.
Whereas the EcoFlow, everything else is plugged into the power side of the EcoFlow. And so all of it, and the EcoFlow is nice because it has the ability to run and charge at the same time.
Yeah.
So it can run, 6,000 watts through the system safely. So I'm pushing out 3,000 or say 2,500, whereas I could be putting in 1,500 to 2,000 watts.
Yeah, for sure.
Simultaneously. And so that usually never happens. Usually I try to show up with a full battery or if I'm going to be somewhere, I just, like I said, and it's a good customer and I'm comfortable, I just plug in.
Yeah, of course.
If it seems like it's going to be inconvenient or if it's a long shot to the garage to get plugged in, I just run
everything.
And the EcoFlow, I can do, a full, let's say a premium high-end detail or ceramic coating, with 30 to 40% of my battery.
Gotcha. Okay,
so,
good to know.
Running, 20 amps, I would say 13 to 20 amps for, 3 to 4 hours.
What about, so even your vacuum?
Absolutely.
On that. What vacuum are you running? So I saw it is stacked in there.
It is, it's kind of like your Vacuum Aid.
Okay.
This brand, what was it? Centec which,
see if it'll...
yeah, so it's back here. It's a canister vacuum, just like your...
Yeah, I'll grab it.
Just
Again.
like your
It's
wall
still
mounted.
dark.
It's made by Centec. Again, same specs as all
Is
the
it wet
ones-
dry or just dry?
Just dry.
Just dry. Okay,
Just
cool.
dry.
Got it.
And I'll get to why I chose that. But yeah, it works great. I did run everything on a remote. So
Nice.
all I really just turn on the power. EcoFlows have a nice little screen that you can attach, so it kind of sees. You could turn off your AC and DC and whatnot. But that way it just runs everything. And so vacuum
So nice.
goes on easy. My air compressor is actually mounted in my spare tire.
There we go.
So-
Okay. So again,
yeah.
I'll lay down there. But so where you
Yeah.
if you're running no spare tire, then you remove
spare
that
tire.
and have that.
Yeah, no
Got
spare
it.
tire. I wanted to free up some space in the bed.
Yeah.
And so
What compressor are you running?
I'm running a California Tools 2 horsepower, 125 PSI, 90 CFM.
Okay.
It's, or sorry, 4.5 CFM at 90 PSI, I believe.
Gotcha.
Does really well. It'll constantly power, the Air Tools,
Yeah, no worries. there.
80, 90 PSI.
It seems like that 4.5, 4.5 CFM
Yep.
in the 90s is
It's
that's it.
the ticket, and it's quiet. The California Tools
Yeah.
is ultra quiet. I switched from Harbor Freight, which was nice because that's 200 PSI,
Yeah.
so you can really get some blasting done.
Which Harbor Freight was it? Their Fortress lineup or
It was the
there-
Fortress lineup.
Okay.
It was the same small dual tank.
Yeah.
Maybe $250, fairly
Yeah.
affordable, but loud.
Yeah.
Obnoxiously loud. Like we couldn't even have a conversation right here.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I really enjoy is no gas.
Yeah.
I like things
absolutely.
to be quiet.
And there's certain areas, man, where like I remember one time we were both working Carlsbad. I remember
Yeah.
one time I was working like the back end of there's a golf course called La Costa,
Yep,
right?
absolutely.
And some guy came out who was so upset with me.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, what do you want me to do here, bud? Like
Just working.
yeah, and it really wasn't
Well,
even
it's
that
just
loud,
like the
to be honest.
landscaper now down here.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just getting rid of that drone is really nice, and it always seemed to be my luck whenever I was running anything gas, that I was just in a pocket and I was inhaling fumes all day,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So
absolutely.
like you're in a corner in the shade, and it's just, I hated it.
Yeah, so the way you're running this, even if you were in a van, you're not going to get the gas odor,
gas.
but you will still get the chemical.
You still get the chemical, dirty towel. The
Yeah,
dirty towel
for sure.
bucket is the worst. So, and then also I have, just regular power.
Okay, so you have a secondary.
Yeah,
there that
just so
you can
power
run out
lights,
too.
polishers.
Yep.
Anything, charge batteries. So, my drill batteries, cordless, polisher batteries, that sort of thing. I'll, set up and plug in. So then on also being here in Southern California, we need shade.
Yeah,
we
for
work
sure.
365 days a year.
Yeah, we
outside
do.
here, not like some places. So, 13 by 13 awning. I probably replace it every year. I go through one every year.
No issues putting up a.
I set it up and tear it down 30 seconds.
Cool.
You're basically Coleman. This I think is a core. Got it at Costco.
Okay.
$200.
Okay.
Just
got it.
your basic, nothing too fancy. Like I said, goes up and down real easy. Up here, it's just your
This little
4-foot
Oh, the platform
scaffold.
style
Yeah,
deal, yeah.
4-foot scaffold ladder. It's good for trucks. I also use it for setting up a table if I'm doing paint correction.
Yep.
I'll set it up in the garage. With all my tools, stuff laid out.
Yep. So it's right there.
Yeah, it's just
ready
right
to go.
there. So I'll kind of set up a little mobile station sometimes. Also, one of the negative things about this setup is when the drawers are out, you lose tailgate space.
Fair enough.
So having the tailgate or having that table is kind of nice.
Yeah, we kind of replaced
It's
that
just
a
to
bit.
set polishers on when I'm, digging through stuff.
Sure.
And then I keep all, new, products and material, or I'd say towels, pads, applicators. I keep a lot of those here, glass towels, things that I could access real easy. My water bottle, extra, gallons of, material just to fill the small bottles.
Yep.
I am going to build another rack right here soon. Just another basically a second level, just to hold another 4 or 5 gallon bottles.
just back
it's
up.
just a bunch
Gotcha.
of space that right there needs to be filled. So
Polishers and things like that you store mostly back here in the deck system?
everything gets stored here.
Okay.
So it's one of my being a detailer, I love our tools, so
Yep.
just a little polisher. But then really this goes all the way back. I've got my bread and butter, my 21.
Yep.
I use that every day.
Yep.
But then, yeah, I've got I think every Rupa's polisher there.
Yeah. It's a sickness, isn't it?
Yeah. This guy, I got this guy back here, but otherwise, yeah,
That's
tire
just
covers.
a tornado
yeah,
velocity back deal. Yep.
Exactly.
Cool.
But otherwise, yeah, Millet, small rotary, big rotary.
When do you pull out the Miele versus never? Fair enough.
Sometimes with
Fair enough.
So sometimes I'll do it. I'll pull it out for some edge work, maybe.
Okay. Because that's the forced rotation model, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's funny, when I was in England,
Yeah.
there's a shop out there,
And they loved
his
it.
go-to is
Yeah.
forced rotation. I was like,
Yeah,
yeah,
so-
I mean, whatever works
Yeah.
for whatever person.
Sure,
It's just,
sure.
Yeah, we're just so used to just going with the
I don't like I think a 21 works better overall.
Yeah.
There might be some spots where Millet is better, or, where certain polishers are going to thrive or shine, but I personally have two 21s.
Yep.
One with a 5-inch plate and one with a 6-inch plate.
Gotcha.
And I have a 15 as well, which I don't think I've ever used. I think I let my helpers use it once in a while,
Yeah.
but the 15 is kind of just a backup. The 5-inch is great. I don't. A 5-inch on a 21 is fantastic. A lot of people don't do that, but it's maybe a little awkward with the backing. I don't know. It works great though. It's for those tighter areas. But those are my tools for my daily tools. I have a small Milwaukee spot polisher for sanding. Little sand spots or doing some stuff real quick.
Yep.
But otherwise, this makes it real easy to access everything. And then I kept it personally. I wanted it as far back, so if somebody was to get in, it's a little more secure. It's not as you don't see my polishers.
That's a great point. Didn't even think about that.
Yeah, so keeping them in the back, and then also with the go ahead.
Sorry, just with the deck system, you're showing the 250. Oh no, these are the larger ones.
Yes. So that is
Okay.
I would
was
say
gonna
that's
just for height. But
yeah, that's the challenge with
Yeah.
the deck system is you are limited with what you can keep in here.
Sure.
You'll notice I have a lot of racks everywhere,
Yeah.
even like in here down these side
Oh,
compartments.
cool. I didn't even notice that. Yeah.
So just more of my products that I like to use, compounds, different, just stuff that I use regularly. I like organization.
Yep.
Not things rolling around. This side, same thing.
Yeah, more over here.
And this goes really far back. So this one's actually deep with, different stuff. I mean, there's probably 15 bottles back here. I'm not exaggerating.
Got it.
So these bottles don't fit in the deck system.
Yep.
They do fit really nice down here. It works fine out of the sun, stays cool, which is important for us, especially with our compounds and polishes.
Yep.
Buying larger sizes when it's 100 degrees and your products are baking in the sun, they don't like that.
Yep.
I think a lot of places, a lot of detailers don't really have those issues because they're in a shop or
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, mobile's a different thing.
Yeah, around
It
the
is.
country, most people have shops. That's what I've noticed, and here in Southern California, it's just not one of our luxuries.
Yeah.
It's not really, unless you're combined with a tint or a PPF shop, it's really hard to afford that kind of.
The rent here is crazy.
It's really
For
expensive.
Sure.
And
I even talked about that. Like my shop, it's
crazy.
I tell people how the majority of my detail business, 95% of it's still mobile.
Sure.
Sure. That's how I built it. That's what my customers are
and
used
people
to.
in Southern California kind of expect that.
I feel that way. Yes.
It's a little different. Like I said, I've detailed a couple other places, and no detailers obviously around the country, and it's different here when it comes to seasonal work. Where if it's not raining, which is obviously few and far days in between or whatever, we're working.
Yeah. Totally.
There's no excuse not to. It's not cold. It's 60 degrees in the coldest time of the year. So we're pretty fortunate that way.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you carry an extractor or a steamer?
I have an extractor at home. I do very little.
That level of interior.
Yeah, that level.
Cleanup.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have one. I've contemplated selling it. It's just a little mighty. I think it's a 300H.
Yeah. Okay.
The small heated one.
Yep.
I've used it, quite a few times, but ultimately, I think I'm going to ditch it and get one of the rip cleans.
Yeah,
personally.
exactly. Then you just, it's easy.
For like I said, I've been detailing a long time, and you don't need all the fancy tools to get excellent results.
100% agree.
It's nice. It's great to have an extractor, but I promise, and people will disagree and argue with me all day, but I can provide the same results with a shop vac and some drill brushes.
Yeah,
and
totally.
A water bottle with some hot water even in it to pull out stuff. So the Rip Clean is nice for me. I like space savings. When I do take my extractor, it goes
in the back seat.
Yeah, it goes in the back seat. I do keep a couple extra things in here. Refrigerator for my food for lunch. Of course, I like to keep things cold. I do keep a couple extra. These are polishers that, the battery operated ones.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% on them. I still prefer corded stuff.
You do get more juice out of them, for sure.
Right. More power. I like corded stuff, but for convenience, when I'm doing some specific jobs, dashboards for the Nano, gauges, clusters, things of that nature, interior pieces, I'll throw these in.
Yep.
Big, super thick extension cord.
What gauge is that, dude?
This is a 10 gauge.
10 gauge. That thing's
so. This is the product of melting extension cords running a 630.
Got it.
So the 630 pulls 20 amps.
Yep.
And if you run that through a 13 gauge cord at 50 feet, you will melt
50 feet. Yeah,
you will melt your plugs. And so this is actually just a cord from my past. This was how I connected to customers' homes every day.
Got it.
And so I actually have, this was 100 feet. It's now shortened down to a 50, just a little more manageable. But that is traditionally what I would plug into a customer's house, and that way I could, charge, my air compressor could kick on, and I could, be running the pressure washer at the same time.
Yeah, totally.
And not melt my plugs. So that's that. I still use it sometimes. If I need, if I'm far away, still nice to have a long extension cord, something. I'm already running 50 feet, so I decided to shorten this one, keep the thick gauge so I don't generate that heat, and then also it's not good for your equipment.
Yeah,
it's not good for your pressure washer to run low amperage, and it stresses the motor and that sort of thing. And then really the only thing that really needs to be in here is I carry my towels.
Got it.
My drying towels and just regular towels. My general use towels I keep in a bin.
You keep them in a bin. So that's another thing. Like in my van setup in the past, I had a shelf for my towels.
Sure.
I would get there and they would kind of like bounce around.
It's a waste of time.
It totally is.
Folding, having a display of towels.
Yeah.
It's nice, but it's also kind of a waste of time. And I do have. It's not that I don't. I still have on the other side. If customers peek in, they'll see new towels and nice things, all nicely organized. But inside, I've got my 10-time washed.
Yep.
Microfibers that do the job. So really, it's the idea for me was to keep everything out of the inside of the truck.
Yeah,
I wanted the inside of my truck to feel like a personal vehicle. This does double as a family ride. I hook a trailer up to it and go camping. I take my kids to school in it. I have no logos. It's clean.
Yep. Are there any other reasons you went no logos? Is it essentially?
For me, I've now been in business a long time. I didn't want necessarily the marketing or the word of mouth, I didn't want the attention really of having a detailing van, and then also the doubling of a personal vehicle, right? Yep. So I don't want to look like I'm driving my work vehicle. I take my wife out to dinner and we're in a logoed up truck, or same thing camping. I'm camping and we're at a campground and I've got my work truck. I just didn't want that, and I don't get my customers that way. So it just was an unnecessary thing. Over the years, like I said, started out in a van, full wrap. Second truck was another Tundra, had a wrap on the window. This one, when it came time, I was like, I think the only calls that I got were, for me to stop, cutting people off.
That's exactly where I was at. I used to have these bright green trucks.
Yeah. I remember. I know. I remember. Yeah.
And the only thing I would get called like, hey, one of your drivers is texting and it's me. I'm like, yeah, sorry.
Sorry. So that was another
annoying.
Strong reason why I don't have decals on my truck. So,
do you? This is like off topic. Not really, actually. insurance on the truck? Do you do commercial or just
I do
regular?
have business insurance I have business liability insurance, which is just basic garage keepers, and then my insurance company knows that I do business out of the truck, so I'm not sure how that works. It's not necessarily a commercial policy, I don't think, because it is wrapped up in the same. I have multiple other vehicles, so I know it is. They do know I'm doing business, and I've been in an accident while I was at a customer's site where somebody hit me.
Gotcha.
And the insurance was like, "Oh, were you working? They want to know everything," and they covered everything fine. So it is a little bit extra. I know having insurance covering stuff. Another time, I did. My truck got another setup. Everything was taken out. Bag of my polishers, generator, and homeowners insurance actually covered. I found
covered
that
as well.
And my car insurance actually wouldn't even have covered that.
Wow.
So. Make sure that your equipment's covered through your policies if you have that.
That's one thing I noticed when I had the trucks and stuff all wrapped.
Yeah.
I had to have full commercial, and then we're in California, right? And a lot of insurance companies have left.
Yeah.
And my insurance agent, he was a broker. I can't remember what I was paying, like $2,500 a year or something like that for $1 million coverage, whatever. And then he came back. He's like, "Hey," he goes, "I'm going to shop it around, but the current provider." It's going to $12,000 for the year. I was like, what? So I was like, dude, I don't have any logos on my truck anymore. I'm doing very specific.
And it went down.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
totally
absolutely.
went down. So just work with your agents so they know what you're doing.
Right.
Because you do want to be
You do want
covered.
to be honest. And I was in that situation back in probably 2012 or 13. I had gotten into an accident that ended up being it was my fault, not involving somebody else. I just hit a pole. Anyway, his collision covered it. But when they saw the back window had a wrap on it, it was actually Wawanisa, and they're a smaller insurance company.
Sure.
That was it. That one claim they didn't like that I had the business logo on there, and I didn't have business insurance specifically.
Sure,
They still covered my claim.
Okay.
But that could have been different if it was involving somebody else.
Totally.
This was collision, and I just turned the wheel a little soon, hit a pole on the side. So it wasn't. But like I said, the Wawanisa did drop me.
Okay.
Since then, we've gone to Geico, and Geico is, in California anyway, is really good. It could obviously vary from state to state, but we have Geico for all of our vehicles, and they're seemingly very accommodating for businesses.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That's perfect, man. Yeah, no, the setup is incredible. I've been toying with the idea of setting up my truck. I've been toying with the idea of a new setup that I can work out of, train people out of a little bit, and also film out of easily. And again, I'm always leaning to trucks, and I already have the truck.
More pleasurable to drive.
Totally.
That was, driving a truck is compared to a van. I mean, you're in a comfortable vehicle. Lots of power. This is about 2,200 pounds. So that's also something I did want to address.
Right. I mean, strictly, the 100 gallons of water.
100 gallons of water
alone
is, 900 pounds or whatever it is, 800 pounds. The deck system, I think, is 700 or so. I could be mistaken on that.
Quick question is with how this is mounted. So the water tank goes here and then back.
Yep, exactly.
So you're behind the rear axle.
All sitting behind the rear axle.
And that's all good?
Yes and no. I mean, so what I've done, and like I mentioned, I camp and have a trailer. So I actually have airbags, a Firestone Ride Right system.
Got it.
I put them on a long time ago, and I do currently run, right now I'm 100% loaded. So for people that care about squat and what trucks look like when this is perfectly level. It's 100% level. I've got 2,000 pounds in the bed, roughly right now. And I run about 25 pounds of air in the helper springs.
Okay, gotcha.
Constantly. It's actually, honestly, drives smoother and better than an empty bed.
Really?
An empty bed truck's kind of,
you do get the
bounce.
Yep.
The extra weight with the airbags, it's kind of plush. I ain't gonna lie. It's really
very nice.
Yeah, so you can't drive it as, aggressively, obviously. It's a little slower around corners, that sort of thing. I do drive a little bit aggressive, I think, maybe, and coming, whatever, and I go through tires. You do go through tires faster. I noticed my front tires, have the same wear that, sports cars will have on the front leading edges.
Good man.
So the tires wear fast, and that's, it's a, 6,000 pound truck now.
Yeah.
It's very heavy. It's fully loaded all the time. I do believe the weight, I always in the past had a 60 gallon tank or so up against the bed.
Yep.
I do like it positioned farther back.
Okay,
It does
cool.
feel, makes the truck feel a little bit more
Planted
a little more
almost?
planted.
Yeah.
Honestly, when I'm towing an RV, it also tows better. Seems like it's more planted and
Cool.
doesn't pull around. So honestly, the weight, gas mileage, maybe a half a mile, a gallon
Yeah,
less.
I mean, it's not great.
Doesn't
anyway
matter
on these. Yeah.
It's a Tundra. Don't look at it.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the cap was, I went with an aluminum cap. It was the lightest option that I could find, and
Okay.
I chose it for its lightness. It's a Weston. It's nice. It has power locks, which is super
Whoa,
bitchin'.
really?
Yeah, it's connected to my locks, so that was another
No
key feature.
way.
Yeah, so, and that's just simple wiring that most people, if you're handy, can do it yourself.
What did that top run? Do you remember?
It's about $3,300.
Right. So they're probably a little above that now. 'Cause
No,
how long have you had this?
This is only about a year old.
Oh, okay.
And this top was actually I waited for it.
Got it.
It was
Okay.
it was a new release. It's double wall insulated. It's meant for camping.
Yeah,
That's
uh-huh.
the real use for it. I like the big bulky doors, the big back entrance.
Yeah.
Provides more than say a snug top or something like that.
Yep. Totally.
This opening here.
Is it a little bit smaller,
It's
right? Because
this is actually pretty big compared to other caps of this.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, dimension. Again, so when I get my buckets out, that's the only problem.
Just trying to.
Is I have to take this out, otherwise I dump everything out because I do have to tilt the bucket to get it out. You know,
Okay,
it's just
fair
got to get tilted. So that's the only really inconvenience. I still carry two. This is one of the reasons I put the air compressor underneath
Yeah.
to free up space, so I didn't have to have the buckets inside.
Inside.
So
Got it.
now my truck never is going to have the end of the day towel,
Yeah.
all-purpose cleaner smell,
Totally.
or you know
Yep,
musty
that's-
dog smell, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
you know?
Whatever you were cleaning up
Whatever you're
off
doing
of
that
the car.
day. Right. I feel like wool pads and compounding always smells like wet dog at the end of the day under
Yeah.
the pads. So not having that smell inside is really nice. Yeah. So super convenient. Just,
Beautiful. And again, Cox reels. So I don't know if this is going to.
these are not Cox reels.
Oh, these are not. Okay.
These are your basic. I do, and probably at the end of this year, I'm going to switch to the dual Cox Air water reel.
Okay.
It's really nice. That's a really nice reel. $1,300.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's- yeah.
It's beautiful. These were $125 each.
Okay.
They're both of them are air reels, one converted to water.
Gotcha. And any issue with that you've had over? So and when you converted it, it was just the.
Just a
connection.
just a bung, just a fitting.
That's it.
Nothing fancy.
Beautiful.
Yeah, super easy.
Beautiful.
The reels are comparing to a Cox reel. They're a little louder.
Sure.
Pulling it is not as consistent. You have to get it to a certain point.
And then for it
Look,
to stop, kind of deal.
You buy a Rolls Royce of reels, you get Rolls Royce funk.
Yeah.
I can't speak for the Transits and all of these bitchin' looking setups out there, but reliability wise, you can't beat a Tundra.
Yeah.
It's really reliable.
Yeah,
and then plenty of power.
Yeah, for sure.
Even with all this weight in it, it still gets out of its own way. I don't feel like it's lugging getting on freeways even when I'm full. It's an oval. It's really comfortable.
Yeah.
The drive is, I can drive across the country.
Yeah.
My back doesn't hurt. Some of these smaller vehicles, it's just, it's our office.
Yes.
I'm in here all the time. I spend probably
a lot of
another
hours in there.
Yeah, I probably spend another additional hour, 2 hours just setting schedule and, working in my truck. I have a family, so going home sometimes setting my schedule is
Yeah. When you get
difficult.
home, you want to just.
I want to be home.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Yeah, sometimes I'll park and work. I just work in my truck. Everything else that goes along with detailing other than detailing. You
Yep,
know,
definitely.
doing all that.
Beautiful, dude. Yeah, I mean, this thing's extremely inspiring to me.
Thank you.
No, really, I think you had it on display at Carglow,
Yep.
our local detail
Yeah,
shop.
his anniversary.
Yeah, exactly. It's 10 year, and I was looking at the thing going, you got to be kidding me.
You know,
this thing's incredible.
It's gotten a really good response. I go to all the detail supply shops. I shop all local.
Yep.
And no, it's been a great response on how people like it, and other people asking, just like you, wanting to know,
Yeah.
How and
Well, something as simple as the water tank not being a traditional water tank opens
big
up
change.
so much.
It's a big change. It's even if you don't like the L transfer tank and setting it up here, you could actually just push this tank all the way to the bed.
Yeah.
and you still have a ton of room.
Yeah.
No, it goes around the other side.
Okay.
So everything comes out, flows down the side of the tank or the inside of the tank, flows down here. Bottle rack, and then right here is the water, all the watering lines. This is just fancy display for customers. I'm a G-Technic installer,
Yep.
so it's just nice to have brochures here. This was kind of an ugly space with wires and, the pressure washers underneath here. Customers are often walking by the street. This is the street side. They'll walk around, and so it's a nice presentation. People can grab business cards if they want. It's just nice. And then, like I said, kind of hides all the not aesthetically pretty stuff.
Sure. Which honestly, there's not a lot in there.
Yeah.
It's all pretty good looking.
and really, the ties it for me is the cup holder.
Yeah.
With my coffee
Mounted onto the reel.
Yeah. So Harbor Freight, perfect.
Yeah, they nailed it with those things.
But yeah, otherwise it's just a really functional system. The air compressor being underneath, also just getting rid of the big equipment in there. It's really quiet.
Yeah.
So it'll kick on when it runs out.
There it goes.
That's the vacuum.
Oh, that was the battery. Okay.
So that's the air compressor.
Wow, that's the air compressor.
So that was the air compressor. That's the loudest thing still, I think, but that's the vacuum and the air compressor at the same time on the EcoFlow. And then
That's impressive.
I can't do all three at the same time. It will pop the strip.
Okay.
The EcoFlow might handle it, probably not, but the strip pops. It's got a 20 amp breaker on the
Got
strip.
it.
So
Got it.
that's just a little extra safety precaution too on that end. Running all the high power stuff, you can, the vacuums, and you can tell actually on this EcoFlow screen, you can tell, and kind of I've seen on some of your videos how you're seeing how much power you're pulling on your pressure washer through your tips.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
So it's nice depending on your personality and if those things interest you. It's really nice to know what things are pulling. I could run this pressure washer off of with a 45 tip orifice for 2 hours longer than with a smaller orifice.
Right.
So
Exactly. Because
the power consumption is so dramatic. I had no idea.
Yeah.
And it's one of the reasons I melted plugs in the past, because I was too much pressure, not enough flow, that sort of thing.
Yep.
So yeah, no, I think there's only a couple more things I'm going to do to the truck to complete the build. Oh, and it charges also off the engine.
It does.
So-
you have it set up.
So EcoFlow has a converter or alternator box that you
Okay.
tie into your alternator. Charges at 800 watts. So
Wow.
from 0 to full in 8 hours, I think. So it stays, keeps it charged and.
And no issue with that thing not depleting all the way before charging or anything like that. I mean,
No,
they designed it.
I haven't
It's
had
crazy.
any issues. Yeah, it's honestly, that was another big holdup. It's obviously a costly deal. I think around $2,000 at
For that one, for sure.
yeah, at Costco, and so it was an expensive, power option. Of getting away from solar. Also, the solar panels are really nice. People love solar, and everybody's like, put a solar,
Yeah.
But they make this 800 watt alternator that
That makes
you
way
get
more
more
sense for
power for. So, I still might pick up some solar panels
Especially
for
for
my
camping.
RV.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
This on the first camping trip with this battery, I was able to go dry camping in a 25-foot RV for a week.
Wow.
And keeping my house batteries full. So microwave a couple times. I mean, it was, it's quiet. So you don't have to listen to the annoying droning, generator running your stuff, or your neighbor doesn't have to, you don't have to piss your neighbor off.
Yeah, for sure.
When you're camping, if you guys camp.
That's gotta be frustrating though. You're running ultra quiet, and then your neighbor maybe running.
Camp host right next to you's got a 5500 Predator running right next to your window.
Right, great. I'm glad I put all this effort in.
So, no, it's and I still have a Yamaha 2400 if I ever needed
As
it.
a backup, yep.
I honestly, it sits in my garage, and I keep it for backup in case there's a power outage in San Diego. I have something to charge my battery.
Sure, absolutely.
So that happens.
Good deal. Well, Josh, thank you so much,
Yeah,
man.
absolutely.
I really appreciate you taking the time
appreciate
to
you.
come by and show
Yeah.
us all this. I mean, this thing's incredible.
Cool.
Guys, if you are in San Diego County, anywhere in San Diego County,
Yeah, all
right?
county. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's G-Technic certified installer.
Yep.
So I am not certified with them. So if you specifically want G-Technic especially, this is the
Absolutely.
man to do the job. You get to see this incredible truck in person.
Right.
So awesome, bro. Thank you
Yeah,
so
appreciate
much.
you. Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Again, we're gonna check out a van setup just to do the full, you know, really do all the due diligence.
Sure.
But
there are some things I believe that, you know,
of
a
course,
little more practical in a van setup. You do have substantial more space, but if you're not a van person, you know, I think this is a really good van-like setup.
Yes.
In a truck.
Yeah, and again, for me, it's really, I don't want to be breathing, let alone the gas and stuff if you go to EcoFlow, but the chemical and all that kind of stuff, I'd rather not.
No, it's really great. It separates, you know, personal from business quickly.
Totally.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks again, guys. We'll see you on the next one.